Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new unboxing, in a way, review, and we're going to make a look what you find inside of this box. This is the Warhammer Underworlds Nethermaze. It's the 6th season, okay, and we're going to make a look on what you can find inside, okay. So I just removed this is just the cover to make the introduction, and we are going to look first at the book. So this is a core set or starter set, a new season, and it comes with a new, of course, with a rule book, new boards, new warbands. So we have 2 warbands, new book, a lot of cards, dices. So we are going to make a look at all of that. So let's make a look first to the book. So this book is it's always a very typical, about 50 pages, where we are going to have all the rules and and a little bit of background, right? So we start always with some background. What is the Nethermaze? What's going on? Okay, the Genesis, escaping from the nightmare. So, and here we have the 2 new warbands that are coming to the game, and then we start with the, as I said, with the content. You have a lot of tokens. I will show you as well. We have the 2 warbands, and then they go for all the rules to play the game. Not big changes versus the previous, versus the Heraldry. The only difference is that now you score 2 glory points if you kill a guy or opponent, enemy meter that have 5 or more wounds. Used to be 6, now it's on 5. Apart of that, I have not seen any additional things. So you can see all is more or less the same. You can see it's quite nicely explained. It's adding quite a lot of complexity here. You see, this is also important, the reactions. They have not correct not the reactions, the inspiring moments. I think they have not correct that, if I'm not wrong. Remember, we still have the facts. It's telling you that you can inspire as well at the end. They added 2 new, at least one inspiring moment, okay. And these are the boards that I will show you as well, how the boards look like. Okay, so these are the new 4 boards, and just here you can see all of them have a lethal X's. So this 2, 1, 1, and 1. We have 3 of them that have cover, and we have 2 of them that have as well. This one have everything. Have lethal, cover, and 2 block X. Okay. But the cool thing is that there is no one that this is not a clean board without any so that you don't have any type of so that all the X are normal. We have assembly instructions, and I will explain about assembly because I find them a little bit too complicated. As I said, these are the boards. They look really awesome. I think the artwork of the boards, I like a lot this one, with these worms. It's a little bit Cthulhu, these things, or Tulu, or Tulu, I don't know how you have to pronounce them. You can see it's this very alien looking, very, I like. So they're quite different in art, the different boards, okay, so they are quite different in art. Here I have all the tokens. I need to put them in bags, but you have all the tokens, and they were and you have the new objective markers, okay. The other tokens, you have these ones that are wounds, and from the other side you have purple or blue tokens, okay. And we also have here, there are no counters for the action and counters for the round, but yeah. and the stagger counters on the other side of the gun. You also have the scattering example. Okay, so all what you need in terms of tokens are here. So let's make a look now to the miniatures and talk a little bit about the miniatures. Okay, I'm going to talk first about this cabin. So I will zoom in. Maybe a little too much, but you can see. So first of all, these are miniatures that are quite complicated to assemble. Some of them, okay? I think these two were quite straightforward, but these were quite weird, and you have to pay attention, especially what's this one. But this one also took me some problems to assemble, the leader, because you need really to investigate how the pieces have to be assembled together. And on top, when I was cutting from the sprue, this part here of the knife snap off. Okay, so you have to be careful. I glue it back. No, it's perfectly matching, but this is very easy to damage. They have some thin details, but I think overall the miniatures are amazing, are really nice. But you can see we need still to work on some gaps there. I glue some of them to minimize the gaps. You don't need to paint them in subassembly, so I think they go. They are looking nice, but yeah, this one as well. Be careful when you are assembling. This one I don't have any breakage problem, but you have to be careful. These are quite small details there, hanging from a small rope. This guy I also suffered a lot, and I'm still not happy with this gap there. So some of these guys are really suffered to put them together. Not easy. So the cabins are really fine. It's a nice band. It's very dynamic. I like a lot the pose of all of them. I like this pose. This is very similar to the pose, and also all this posing I really like on. So I think they find good poses for these miniatures. Then we have the Moratti faction, the Dark Elves. I really love this warband. I think I have a lot of characters. So I think the two warbands on this set, they are really very nicely done. They look great. Just some of them are quite complicated to assemble. These ones, in a way, are easier. Are more intuitive to assemble. The first one is this guy. This guy I remember that was quite straightforward. And one of these was this one here. Yeah, this one here you have to the problem is that you have to hold the knife and to put two pieces together. So yeah, but at the end was quite it's not too difficult. It's just that you have you need a third hand that I don't have it to help me. So, but at the end you manage to do it as well. This one. When you put the front and the back, you have to sandwich. I don't remember, but this on both you have to sandwich the knife, and yeah, and sometimes it's not easy to hold everything and then top stab them together. And this one I had a similar problem with than the other leader. This moon type of thing snapped off from the staff just under the moon. And was just when cutting with my clippers, cutting the parts from the sprue. So try to be more careful than me. In that case, in both cases, I was surprised because they snap off very easily. Maybe there was a small defect, it was not visible, I don't know. But now, once they are glued together, yeah, you don't notice anything, and once painted, you will even notice less. Okay, so these are the warbands. Just be careful, they are quite fragile, and yeah, and some are not that intuitive to assemble. Okay, then we have one deck for this cabin, and now I will need to zoom up a little bit again. Yes, not two. Okay. So this is the deck of this cabin. You always have at the back what are the cards that are part of the deck. I'm curious to know why they do that for rivals, because at the end you have to use all the cards of your faction, so it's not going to change. It's not important. It's more important when they release these decks that are made of generic cards. But in that case, I don't. Yeah. So we have the warband is done by 5 warriors. The way to inspire is 1 or more enemy leaders are out of action, so they are inspiring all at the same time. When the enemy leader is out of action, you don't need to wait at the end, so it's just you need to wait at the next inspiration moment when you do that. And when they inspire, they are not improving too much. Okay, so for example, this one, it's improving. It has the same 5 to 3, 5 to 3, 3 to 1, 3 to 1. So it's winning the ability of Gravius. Okay, it's nothing super spectacular. This guy I think is winning 1 defense. Yeah, winning 1 defense. This guy will win something on the attack. As you can see, it's Gravius and Cliff. What is quite dangerous. This one have already Gravius, and if we turn, Gravius 5 to 4, 1, so it's winning. It's becoming more friendly with the attack. And then we have this one that is winning a little bit more. No, it's changing from 2 hammers to 3 swords. And one end is increasing to 1 by 1 dodge, so to 2 dodge at the end. Okay. So they are quite fragile. We are talking about 3 to 2 wounds, most of them, except the leader that have 4. So it's quite a fragile warband. That, if we look the objective, it's winning by being aggressive, right? The score of the phase is 3 or more surviving friendly fighters each have 1 or more upgrades. So this is a good. It's a combination of aggro and aggressive deck. Score is on the phase if 1 or more leaders are out of action. So this synergizes a lot with the inspiring process, and there are 4 or more fighters out of action. So 1 or more enemy leaders out of actions, and there are, so you have to wait that the 2 things are happening. So it's for 3 points. Well, it's not bad. Okay. During some games will be quite easy, in other games can be will be complicated. Score is in the phase after a staggered enemy fighter is taken out of action. Again, an aggressive one. Score and this in the phase if there are no more enemy fighters, that we have 1 or more stagger. So score this in the phase if there are more enemy fighters that have 1 or more stagger tokens than there are surviving enemy fighters. Okay, so you have to be more stagger than surviving the table. Well, you have different objectives. If you look at them, they are a combination of attack and aggro. Okay, and the decks are made to support that part. We don't need this leaf anymore. Then we have the cards for the Morati. This warband scores. There is a lot of staggering, staggering type of. How to call this? I don't come the word. So, but there is a lot of staggering action on both warbands, both like stagger. This warband is super specialized to go on covers and edge zones, okay? Because it's where they get the when they maximize and they start having some powers. They have powers to have with them, and so they have some powers that they give them. Like if the ability, like if they are in the cover without being, so it's quite handy. And then you can see And this is a search call if you have a vulnerable. So here it's very cool. It's very cool to say. Yeah, I forgot to talk about the inspiration. So the inspiration is very curious because it's when makes an attack action that targets an enemy fighter with one or more wound counter. So you only have to attack a wounded enemy, and even if you fail, because that's not say that you have to be successful or kill the enemy. Say if you do this attack, you get inspired, okay, and you have the same. If this fighter makes an attack action that targets an enemy fighter with one or more wound tokens, the 3 of them are the same on this aspect. The 4 of them. Okay. So we have cards to move through the shadows. The important thing as well, I was letting this guy have the ability to teleport, but will never happen in turn 1 most likely, unless you push him to a side. So have to be on a side on a cover X diagonal, okay? It cannot be an initial one. So meaning that maybe if you can put a push, you can even do the alpha strike in turn 1. And then we have here the objectives. So the score is immediately after a vulnerable enemy is taken out of action. These are quite difficult. Score this another phase if 2 or more enemy fighters are each other in cover are each in a cover or an HX, and non-friendly fighters are in your territory. So you can see there are different cards. Score this on the face if your warband made 4 or more attack actions. You can see. Score immediately after a friendly fighter attack action if the target was taken out of action and the attacker and or the defender was in the cover X. Score this end of the phase if 1 or more friendly fighters are adjacent to 1 or more vulnerable enemy fighters. Okay, you have objective to score by being by controlling objectives and also by attacking. Okay, so most of the objectives are or aggro or attacking an enemy. What else we have on these boxes? We have two more decks or 2 more good cards. We have these ones. These are the faction related, and on the faction related we are going to have some upgrades, 3 upgrades, 3 plots. You can see 3 upgrades, 3 plots, 3 upgrades, 3 pots, another 3 upgrades, and 3 pots. Okay, so these are the different cards. So all of the faction will receive 3 upgrades, 3 plots, and then we will have 3 objectives for each of them. Okay. If I look, for example, the order here, hybrid, score this end of the phase if there are 3 or more gambit spells in your power discard card, or no 1 or more friendly Thench wizards are each hold an objective. Okay, well, you will have different cards here for different gods. It's cool that they're still giving big score objective to the destruction units. These are the ones from next to Catatico, and then we have here another order and another. We have here, I think this one have been mixed. No, it's the same. So it's curious that they have put in this order, and the order is the last one, while it was the first, the chaos was the first one. Okay. We have all the cards, so and then you have upgrades and plots as well. Okay, a lot of these cards. The other thing interesting is to see that the logo on have changed on all these cards, and then we have a big pile of generic cards that I did not have time to make a look yet, but you can see there is quite a good amount of cards here. Okay, We're talking of a lot of cars that are used for the tournaments. Okay, I will not go through all these, but you can see that this is the size of the. So these are all the generic cards that are coming in this starter set. So I will not go through all of them. There are different things. I have time to read. But when the score this end of the phase, if your leader is in enemy territory and one or more friendly fighters are in no one's territory. Okay. So you can see that we have a lot of cards to be used there. Okay, I will not go through them because if not, it's going to be an endless video. The other thing, just to finalize, I realized is that the dices have changed. So we have different dices, color of dices in this season, and that's all for now. So I have went through all the different things that we have on this Warhammer Underworld's Nethermaze. So I hope you have liked this video. Please give a like. Let me know what do you think about the new warbands, about this acceleration of making 2 seasons per year. I hope they keep then the cars longer from season to season, and they don't restrict the cars very fast, because if not, it's going to be quite painful, and I think people will disengage if they see that they cannot keep using the cars as they wanted. So that's all for now. So please give a like if you have liked this video, share if you think other people can be interested, and looking forward to see what will be the future of Warhammer Underworld. I have here rumors that maybe it's moving to all rivals. It will be a pity, because I also like a little bit the construction of the deck, and I think it's what's making the game a little bit different from the other miniature games, when was the combination of the deck plus the warband. So that's all for now. So please give a like if you have liked this video, share, and as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.